Hi everybody, 13th of March, another day in my daily diaries of how I'm now coping with the loss of my wife due to Parkinson's. And again, today I've had a good day. I just got a bit more feel-good factor about myself. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I hope I've made that next step to the next step up to the next level in this grief journey. Because there's different steps you've got to take. I mean, I hope so. I hope so, because even though I say sometimes, yeah, I've had a good day, there's always something sort of hanging around. And these few days this week doesn't seem to have that hanging around. There is something there, but not as dark and as heavy. Does that make sense? There just seem to be better good days than there was, previously. So fingers crossed, hopefully. So yeah, I was at the gym this morning at 9:15. I was up nice and early. 9:15 this morning, and had another really good do in the gym. Again, so much so I've upped my treadmill to 5k. I know I only upped it to 4.5 yesterday, but and I could have gone further today. So I've upped it to 5k already. So at this rate, I'll be having the Olympic Committee giving me a ring in a few weeks. Anyway, when I was coming out of the gym, it's in a health centre. And I don't know if you remember, I went on once about these two doors on the way out, the electronics. And one of the doors was playing up and stopping wheelchair users getting in and out. So I went in and had a moan and had a go about it. And I kept going on and got them to leave it open until it were being fixed. You probably remember if you've been following me. If not, that's just a briefer. Anyway, that same door now, it's on a go slow. And it opens, but only opens just over halfway. So it still get a wheelchair through, but it stops halfway through. So there is only like one person in and out at a time, whereas like when it's double open fully, you can get two in and out. Anyway, so I comes out and I gets to the first door, and there's people in the little foyer thing, about 7 or 8 different people. And I looked, I'm wondering, there's a little old lady at the front with a little walker, one of them walkers with little wheels on. And at first I thought she'd stopped walking, and my first reaction was Parkinson's with the feet freezing thing, where it stops them going through doorways. Anyway, I looked and she was taking tiny little steps. And all of a sudden I heard this fella's voice. Come on, love, you've got a queue here behind you. Oh, well, he got both barrels. He got both barrels off me. I said, hey, don't you be... And I raised my voice like that. I said, hey, don't you be talking to her like that. I said, you've no idea why she's taking so long. You wind your neck in. I said to him, like, you wind your neck in and give her a bit of patience. Anyway, he turned and looked at me like that. And I thought he was going to have a go back. And I thought, oh, you do. You do. And I would have blasted him. I would have blasted him. Anyway, he looked at me and put his head down. I said, you just wind your neck in and give her a moment. I said, what's the worst going to happen? You're going to be a minute later getting out? Anyway, he put his head down and a few people turned and looked. He didn't say no. Anyway, so she got through the door. Everybody went out round. And as I passed, I said, you okay, love? She said, I am, yeah, thank you. Just like that. So, I mean, she must have looked and seen who was shouting behind her. But you just don't know. You just don't know. I mean, I must admit, it's only because of what I've dealt with in over the last few years that does make you look at things slightly different and understand it. You just don't know. Just give people a little time. They're not doing it on purpose. That's what I said to her. She's not doing it on purpose. I said, wind your neck in. I said, but can't you tell I'm getting myself fit again? I wanted to set the world on. That's what you get me going to the gym now, getting myself fit and back in shape. Oh, anyway, I come home and, seen to cleaning and that, and then I went out meeting Angie's sister in the Juice Wave Cafe. And Carol was in. Carol said she's doing all right, but I think it's just because she's keeping herself busy. She's got one of her daughters living at home with her. The other two are away down Bristol somewhere, university, wherever it is. You know, so I said, don't forget, I said, you know, you give me a ring. So she pulled my card out of her pocket. She said, I've got it here. She said, I will give you a ring when I feel like just to, you know, offload and have a chat with it. I said, just bend me here, Carol. I said, honestly, it's okay. I said, I don't want to ask you for your, I didn't say I don't, I said to myself, I don't want to ask her for a number. You know, that comes on a bit strange then. So I said, don't hesitate, just ring me. You know, so she said, I will. Anyway, so then me and Angie's sister Marilyn, we just got chatting about Angie and things that, you know, we've done or they've done. And Marilyn's the eldest of 3 girls. Angie was the youngest and there was one in between. Now Marilyn's outlived the other 2, even though she's the oldest, you know, so strange, isn't it, how things happen like that. Anyway, she was telling me a story that I didn't even know of. Back when they was young teenagers, I mean, by the sound of it, Angie was probably like 13, something like that, 14. And Angie had a teenage crush on a fella called Scott Walker out of a group in the 60s called the Walker Brothers, funny enough, you know, and ended up marrying a Mike Walker and becoming Mrs. Walker. But they got tickets and there was some on one, but there was loads of different groups on, including the likes of James Brown, you know, a lot of famous groups at the time. Anyway, so they got tickets and got in and did, you know, of course, and Marilyn said, all of a sudden I'm following Angie and we're squeezing through and ends up right at the stage again. So she was even doing it back then. She said, but then when the Walker Brothers come on stage, Angie's trying to get on stage. So the bouncer's obviously stopping them getting on and shoves them all to one side. So they gets to the side of the stage watching the Walker Brothers and doing what they do. And then they ended up going through this little doorway backstage and hiding in a broom cupboard. Backstage, hiding in this bloody broom cupboard until it all went quiet and the show had finished. And they all start, so they come out the broom cupboard then, and they're behind the stage. So all the stars and the singers know, including James Brown. Because Marilyn said, James Brown even wanted to take them to a party that night. A bloody good job they didn't go. I don't think anybody had seen him again. So I said, it's probably only Marilyn's doing that they didn't end up going, because Angie would have wanted to go. Especially if Scott Walker was going. Oh, you like, woman? What you like? You know, when I met Angie, again, you know, being daft schoolgirl, she'd actually, on her wrist here, her and her mates, so they'd actually homemade tattoos of Scott. Homemade tattoo. Luckily, she managed sort of always to wear a watch over it. You know, when I met her, and years after, when I told you about the time when I burned my tattoo off my own arm myself, and she let me burn that off with a red hot knife on the stove, and put it straight on her wrist, and you could smell this burning flesh. Oh, tough as old boots, woman. Someone's mad as a box of frogs, really. Oh. Anyway, so on that note, I'm going. It's now 20 to 7 again. I keep doing these and then having to get my shower and my tea. So I'm gonna go and get my bag packed in a bit, ready for my journey tomorrow. I don't know what time. Oh, I said I'll probably do my video tomorrow from the hotel that I'm staying at. So yeah. So thanks. The t-shirts all the t-shirts are going well. Where's this one? Don't forget, I'm plugging it again. They're starting to go on the eBay thing as well. Remember, so you can still get them through me, or go on the eBay thing. I'll try and send you a link if I know how. But you find them on eBay. I explained how to do it the other night, I think. So you just flick back a couple of videos and get them on there, and they'll send them straight to you. And then the £5 donation comes straight over to me, and I think I'm up £100 now, something like that, already. So let's keep it going. The more we can sell, the better. Remember, I get a fiver a t-shirt out of it for Parkinson's UK. Let's keep it going. So again, thanks for your comments and your support. Keep firing them over. I'll answer your questions again. Spending most of my evenings now answering questions. And I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it, chatting to you all. You know, chatting to some of you quite regular now. Yeah, so keep them coming. Press your follow me button, press your like buttons, follow me, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and I will do another one tomorrow. So as per usual, you take care now. Bye.